Okay, hey guys, so for my video this week, I chose an article that kind of shifts focus on like the scale and outcome of the case study that we learned in class, but it still holds concepts of citizenship and how it can become politically tied into like national identity and belonging. So immediately when I heard about the Myanmar excluding Rohingya for citizenship, despite them like living there for years, um, it immediately made me think of Trump's actions on birthright citizenship in the United States. And as I mentioned before, like there are major differences between the two, while sharing some conceptual similarities. But it gave me the chance to look into something that is like going on in our country and during our current presidential election. So I took a jump at it and to like educate myself more. So the article that I looked at is called Trump calls U.S. stupid for birthright citizenship after attending Supreme Court arguments, and this was published to the CNBC. So the summary of the article is that Trump wants to deny citizenship of children whose parents are immigrants, even though the children were born in the United States. And at the Supreme Court, people made arguments against his position. So the concepts tied to my article are constitutional change, which we have talked about previously as well. Trump's position on this goes against the 14th Amendment, which states all persons born in the United States are citizens of the United States. That's like a little shorter version of what it actually says, but and then of course this ties into the question of like who qualifies for citizenship, and both my article and what we learned about applies with that question. So in Myanmar, the military government excluded the Rohingya for a multitude of reasons, but even though Rohingya initially had identification, they received foreigner IDs. Now this matters because then they have like less voting rights, legal protections, and more. And honestly, this concept also relates to like the Trump case, right? Talking about the Trump case, luckily the Supreme Court is likely to not support this. But it does say a lot about the president that we do have today. So that is it. I think it's honestly a really interesting article to compare it to, and it's nice to like learn about it. And like I said, although they are like very different in some ways, they also are kind of similar. So that is it. And that's the last asynchronous video. Hope you guys have a good summer.